wanting to start a Zoom chat with your students, whether that be small groups or whole group, any of that synchronous time with your students, you are going to come to zoom.us. If you are not already signed in, you want to click sign in, and instead of entering your email address and password, you can scroll down and sign in with Google, and it will give you that prompt to choose your Google email address to then log in. But since I've been getting in and out of Zoom quickly, it kind of knows I'm coming. So you have some options once you get here. You can schedule a meeting, and this is excellent if you have the extension to where it is automatically scheduled within Google Calendar. You can click download the Zoom extension, and you can add it to Chrome. So now I have my Zoom scheduler on Chrome. Here's where it makes it better, is it will link it directly to our Parkway calendars. So you can give your meeting a name. So it could be morning meeting, it could be math lessons, whatever you choose for it to be. You can have a meeting description. I have created templates before working with a stamped book club. So I created breakout rooms for that book club. So I was able to then title the template. So you can title the template Math Unit 1 if you know you're going to have the same math partnerships or small groups. So you can title it whatever you want to know how you have your students divided into groups. You can say when it's going to be, how long it's going to be, and if it's a recurring meeting, that means then you don't have to keep setting it up. In the spring, we used Google Meet, and the way that is different, is the links don't stay live like Google Meet. So it needs to actually be planned. So if you're wanting it to recur and in some regards stay live, that's how you're choosing the recurring meeting. Passcode is a security option that you can put into place. If you even want it something as simple as math, you don't have to have it in place. You can turn off the passcode feature, especially for the younger students, but you can put into place the waiting room. So what that means is students will not be able to enter your course unless you are inside the course. As the host, you want to have your video on for you and participants. Audio, you can choose to allow students to call in. You could have computer audio as your only option, or both. So some other meeting options that you can put into place is you can enable students to join before hosts. You can have all students muted upon entry. You can then have it only where authenticated users can join. The issue with using this option is that if students are sharing a device, they may not always be logged into Google under their name, especially if it's a recurring Meet link. They might have it just bookmarked and then click on it at the time. So that's something that I would be cautious with that one. Breakout room pre-assigned. So if you're teaching a whole group lesson and want to allow students to collaborate in smaller groups, you may click on breakout room pre-assigned prior to ever getting into the Zoom meeting so that you don't have to deal with the organization of that as you're teaching live. So if I click on that, I can create rooms, and so I can set these up prior to my students entering the Zoom meeting. And once I set them up, that is actually then how, again, up at the top, how I stated that there was a template. You can save it once you create those rooms. You can then save those rooms as a template. So choosing that template will save me this step down below of creating rooms.
If you are recording a session, you need to be sure that all students are aware that the session is being recorded, and that information can be posted behind the password of Schoology to the rest of your class. Please remember, we are not aware of who all may be in a room as students are working, so to be cognizant of privacy issues for students.
Another option that you have is to host a meeting right now. So if for some reason you're just wanting to get on with a student and you don't want to use one of the other links, you can just click on host a meeting. Once you click on that, you're going to get this prompt to open Zoom meetings. I am getting this prompt because I've already installed Zoom on my computer. If you have not used Zoom yet, you can click down here to download and run Zoom. So if I open the meeting, then I'm going to get a screen that we will see whoever is in the meeting. You will then, it automatically has the grid view in this meeting. Options you have while doing your Zoom meeting. I can mute myself. I can choose which microphone I want to use or which speaker I want to use. I can test them. Another option I can have, just like on Google Meet, is I can stop sharing my video. Or another excellent feature that I can have is I can click on this caret and switch to my document camera. And then I can quickly come back and go right back to my camera view. I can also choose a virtual background. I can make that be anything that I want it to be. If you are doing your Zoom meeting, which you most likely will, on a laptop versus an iPhone or an iPad, you will need to have a green screen in the background, which it says down here. You may notice if you've ever done most likely a non-professional Zoom in this pandemic, if you're using it on a phone or an iPad, it will automatically put the image behind you. But for a computer, you will need some form of green screen, really even a green piece of fabric. So that is another option. You can see your participants and you can choose if you're going to mute them. You can change anything with their profile. You can invite more. You can mute all, or you can unmute all. You can see the chat with some students or all students. You can, again, share your screen. So you can choose what it is that you are going to share. You can turn on closed captions. You can do reactions. So students can clap. They can give a thumbs up if they agree with something. That's a helpful solution for if everyone is on mute, but you want to see if they agree or have had similar experiences. Again, if you go to breakout rooms, here is the other part. You can automatically assign the groups, or you can manually assign the groups. So if I chose the template, I wouldn't be getting this create rooms. It would just automatically prompt me to put students in the rooms that I previously created. So if here I want to manually assign the rooms, so now there's 0 participants since it's only me. But if you have a class, you can manually or you can automatically assign everybody to the rooms. So once you create the rooms, it's going to give you this page. With this page, it will say breakout room 1. And if I click on assign, all of the participants that are in this Zoom will show up, and all I have to do is click on their names. I can then go to the next room and do the same thing. And once I've assigned them to the room, the other great thing is this little icon that comes out on the side here with all the names. This breakout, those students that have already been assigned a breakout room will not be on your list anymore. I then can add more rooms down at the bottom if I need to. I can move all participants into the room automatically, or students, you can open all the rooms and then students will get the prompt in front of them to click on go to their breakout room. You can allow participants to return to the main session at any time, or you can turn that X off, and that will keep all students in their breakout rooms. You can set amount of time that they're in their breakout room, and then you can set the amount of time that everybody gets as a warning that they're about to come back to the whole group. While students are in the breakout rooms, you can also send out a broadcast to everyone while they're in the breakout rooms. They also have the option to ask for help, and it gives the teacher or the host the prompt to join that breakout room. And it's very easy for the host to be able to go in one breakout room, to hop over to the next, to come back to the first. It's very easy to move around once you're in those rooms. So that was a quick tutorial on how to use Zoom and breakout rooms. It has a lot of excellent features that will be beneficial for us, and it's something that comes very naturally once you get into it, but it opens a lot of doors to whole group and small group work. Enjoy Zooming.